Hello there fellow model makers, and welcome to part 4 of my Revell 1/72 scale B-17F Memphis Belle build. Last time we completed most of the build and riveted the kit. We now only have the clear plastic parts to mask and glue in place. As I had said earlier, I had bought a pre-cut masking set from Edward, and this proved to be an invaluable time-saving tool. There are several options for the clear parts, and one can choose the one that fits their chosen scheme and aircraft type best. Now, having looked at photographs on the net, I don't think the nose cone provided for the Memphis Belle is accurate. While I went ahead and used it, you may want to do a little more research and tweak the nose so that it is closer to the real thing. Now to glue the parts in place. While I glued some of the windows permanently in place, I found that there was a bit of a problem doing so for windows that have machine guns going through them. The possibility of gluing the machine guns at this stage of the build and having them survive till the end was, well, negligible. So there was no way I was gluing the machine guns now, which meant I could only glue in the clear plastic windows temporarily. I did this by applying tiny beads of super glue and fixing the parts in place. The super glue is strong enough to hold the parts in place, but it does not melt the plastic like extra thin cement, so I will be able to remove the windows easily when required later. The only problem with this approach is that I will not be able to putty the seams around these temporary windows, and that will not look good. I had also bought this Edward set of self-adhesive photo-etch parts for external features. This was my first time using a self-adhesive set, and I was to learn that there is nothing self-adhesive about them. Maybe it was just the set that I got, or that I did not know how to use it. But I found it very hard to make the parts conform to the surface correctly and then to stay glued on, particularly the edges. I guess I will have to experiment a little more before I am comfortable with them. In any case, I ended up removing several pieces of photo etch detailing that I could not get to conform to my liking. With almost everything in place, I apply a coat of interior green on the clear parts so that the inside of the frames matches the aircraft interior. I also painted the wheel wells with the same color. I now paint the entire kit with AK's Extreme Metal Aluminium. The aluminium base revealed a few imperfections, which I fixed with some putty and sanding. I then rescribed the lost details and repainted the area with aluminium. It was now time to put the engines together. I now used wet tissues to mask the wheel wells and other parts of the kit. I now painted the lower side of the kit with the aluminium paint. Once the aluminium paint was dry, I gave the kit a coat of hairspray. Now I am going straight out of the can, and you can do that as long as you apply very light layers. The can spews out a lot of spray, and this can easily pool in places and make bumps, so be very careful if you use the can directly. Alternately, you can decant the hairspray into an airbrush and then spray it on. To paint the aircraft, I used this AK Interactive paint set. Starting with the neutral grey for the underside. I apply the paint in thin misty layers, which ensures that the paint lays down evenly and cleanly. For the top, I used dark olive drab. The control surfaces on the plane were painted a different color, so I start off by masking these areas off. I used Tamiya's khaki for these surfaces. I now took the dark olive drab and lightened it with some yellow. This mixture was used to add highlights along the wing roots and some panels on the wings and the fuselage. In retrospect, I should have made the highlights more pronounced. But still, the effect looked nice and it breaks up the monotony of the olive drab. I now use some Tamiya smoke to do some post shading along the panel lines. I added more variation to the wing roots and tail section by spraying some diluted flat brown. The camo pattern was now added with some medium green. Right then, fellow model makers. That's about all for this edition. Next time, we will do some weathering on the kit and try to finish it. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please do leave a like and a comment. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Till next time, good luck and happy model making.